Well, today is the deadline to file your 2025 taxes, and you haven't done so yet. We invited Creative Planning's Managing Director and Certified Financial Planner, Josh Cromer, to Midday to tell us what we need to know. Josh, welcome.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Very stressful day for some people. They waited so long. What are some of the new changes that tax filers need to know about?
Yes, big thing to know for this year is that the tax legislation passed last year, the big beautiful bill, is retroactive for the full 25 tax year. So that means that we have additional deductions, like for seniors over this age of 65. And then we also have additional ability to itemize deductions, which is very helpful for us here with property taxes.
Now, many of us expect a huge return, but I read somewhere that people aren't finding that to be exactly true, right, Josh?
That's right.
What's the issue here?
It does depend on someone's tax situation and their income. Now, for a standard deduction, if somebody is filing their tax return, they can have up to a $15,000 standard deduction, which reduces their income, or if they're married, they can have a $30,000 deduction.
There you go, there you go.
Now, the big beautiful bill last year increased that for anyone over the age of 65 filing in the household. You get an additional $6,000 per person. That makes a big difference.
That's nice, right? That's nice. All right. So what are some of the free resources that people can turn to help them out? We talked a lot about AI, but we need to be careful with that, right?
That's right. So if we are ever in an auditing situation, AI records can be used as part of the record finding process for the determination. The best place to go for tax help is actually the IRS's website. They have made it much easier to use than you think it would be.
Really? Okay. That's very interesting. For those who plan to file today, when can they expect electronic returns versus mail returns?
If we file today, typically the IRS quotes a 4 to 5 week time frame for that return to be processed and then for the refund to be sent back to you.
Okay.
If someone's sending in by mail, you can expect probably a 2 or 3 additional week delay.
But there's a new rule, a new postmark rule this year, Josh. Tell us more about that, because you can't go to the post office, drop it off today, and expect that to be postmarked today.
That's right. It is now the date of the postmark on the stamp. So if we're submitting that via mail, the postmark on the stamp needs to read for today.
All right. So what else do people need to know, these procrastinators? They have a few hours. What else do they need to know?
That's right. The big thing is not to panic. Someone can still file an extension and still make the estimated payment today and have until October 15th of this year to file.
You can file for an extension, but you have to pay if you owe by today.
That is correct,
All right,
yes.
Josh. Thank you so much for sharing.
Glad to be here. Thank you.
The details with us. Josh Cromer, if people have questions for you, how can they contact you?
Yes, we can be reached at creativeplanning.com.
There you go. All right. Happy tax filing.